State Fire Marshal Butch Browning and Commissioner of Agriculture and Forestry Dr. Mike Strain jointly issued a burn ban for parts of Louisiana impacted by the drought and high temperatures. Commissioner Strain is standing by with This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's Avery Davidson to give us the latest. Avery?
Mike, as you just saw in Kristen's story, it is very hot and dry up there in northwestern Louisiana. Joining me now is Commissioner of Agriculture and Forestry, Dr. Mike Strain. Commissioner,
good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Commissioner, you've been up there. You've seen the damage. What do you think we're going to look at as far as disaster in that area?
Well, when you look specifically at northwest Louisiana, north central Louisiana, when you look at the drought index, we're in an area of what's called exceptional drought. As you've seen now, we've had a considerable time period. We're over 16 inches below normal in this particular area. Other areas of the state are still around 7 inches below normal. And when you see there's this persistent high pressure system that is coming across the plains through Texas, parts of Oklahoma, and is extending into this region of Louisiana. And what we've seen a record number of fires, and we've seen a lot of grass fires, woods fires, but also now lightning strike fires. You've seen a lot of, quote, heat lightning. And we have issued a burn ban. Butch Browning, he is the fire marshal, and I have issued a burn ban on 29 parishes. Now, if you are a prescribed burner and you are following the rules, you know, for good agricultural practices, you are exempt from that burn ban if you're a prescribed burner. But that means you are still responsible. So we're asking everyone to be careful. Last time we issued the burn ban, it helped us. It cut down the number of fires we would have to fight in half. But this is very, very critical. Don't go out burning trash. Be careful what you do. Don't have outdoor flames, because remember, when we have these conditions, and this is one of the greatest droughts that we've had in this century. And for our neighbors in Texas, they will tell you this is the worst drought they've had in a century.
Yeah, over there they're looking at $5.3 billion in ag losses.
That's right. A third of the cotton crop has already been lost. A lot of the corn. If you look at the markets, all of the markets now are reflecting two things here in the southern part of the United States, and which is the drought, and of course before that the flooding. And you've seen now the record prices in the commodities. And you've seen that now, as of this morning, they're talking about now the limited amount of available corn that we're expecting at harvest compared to usage. And so there's some discussion about how we're going to do that and how it's going to be affected. Also, you've seen corn prices. As of this morning, corn was about over $7.15, moving towards $7.20. And some of the discussion, well, we believe that foreign countries would decrease the amount of imports when corn hits $7.15. That's not the case. And so now all of the industries that depend on corn, you're going to see some changes in that marketplace. But this drought is serious. And when you talk about the drought, we look at, under the drought index, the first top 8 to 10 inches of soil and the top side as well. But the long-term implications, if you listen to all the climatologists, they will tell you we expect at least another 90 days. We're having that La Nina effect. And the high pressure system is so great, even though the Gulf of Mexico now is over 90 degrees, it's hot. It has been pushing those hurricanes out and going up the East Coast. So we need to pay particular attention to it. We are in continuous contact with Willie Cooper and the Farm Services Agency. Also, in Washington with Secretary Vilsack's office.
I know when I went to Ray Scheck-Snyder's farm, he had cracks in the ground upwards of 8 to 10 inches deep. Yes. And you were talking about the burn ban. That's a demonstration of just how dry it is out there. But you are also dry when it comes to funds. Yes. And having firefighters. I mean, when I spoke to you just, a couple months ago about the forest fires, we already were fewer than 1,000 acres away from tying all of what burned last year. Where are we now?
We explained to the legislature that you cannot cut our funds anymore. We will fight fires with all that we have and all the assets we can bring to bear. But the absolute numbers is we are experiencing a higher degree of fire pressure with more limited resources than we've had in the past. And what we have done, we are reallocating resources. We're moving additional crews into that area. We're going to do some things internally to try to free up more personnel to do all we can with what we have. And if I can find some additional monies within the department, we will bring back some personnel in that particular area. But we are the firefighters for all non-structural fires in the state. We're there to work with the local fire departments, and the local fire departments have been picking up a greater share of that burden to deal with those small grass fires and protecting the home. But also what's happening, a change, is that now you have more homes in what we call the wildland home interface. The homes are being built closer to the forest or in the forest. So now we have a greater challenge. You know, that we are to put the fire out and control it on the wildland, but we also are working to help the fire departments protect the homes. But though that junction has become tighter, it's changed and it's become more critical, and we're going to stay on top of that. I know Wade Dubay, our state forester, we have meetings. We've also been working with Butch Browning and a number of the fire chiefs on that issue.
I know that when it comes next legislature, you'll be talking to them, trying to restore some of those funds. Thank you very much, Commissioner Mike Strain, for joining us. And Mike, we're going to keep a close eye on the drought conditions and how it's going to affect farmers for the rest of this harvest, as well as the burn ban that's ongoing. Back to you.
Avery, Davidson, thanks.